I'm not afraid of everything. I'm afraid of very few things.
Like what?
Illness, death.
Yeah. How'd you get peace of mind out of the other shit?
Well, when I was this is a weird thing that happened to me when I was young.
Yeah.
I don't know if this means anything.
Let's try it.
I remember it, but it was a moment I had that was it wasn't religious or epinaphic or anything, but it transformed me to some degree. Is that I was fucking so afraid of everything, and if I went to a store, I'd have to walk around forever before I could even face a person in the store to buy a pack of gum. I don't know why the fuck I was like this.
Yeah.
But anyways, when I was 9. There was we lived in rural Ontario, and there was a blind friend of my dad's that I had to, he said, take him to the store. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I have to take this blind fucker? And I'm already shy and shit. So I'm taking him to the store, and then the fucker wants me to explain everything, describe everything to him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's some grass over here, and now there's a lamppost, and this guy's all happy. Oh, what about the lamppost? I mean, it's just a lamppost.
Yeah.
So it goes on and on, but something happened to me it sounds bizarre, but something happened to me where I was actually, instead of always looking inward, which I think I'd always done before that one time, I was looking outward. Anyways, while I was talking to him, I suddenly had a sort of a hysteria, like I was laughing. I started laughing and stuff. And I don't even know why I'm remembering this, but I started laughing about everything. And everything seemed like very, very funny to me. And then a couple of weeks later, I saw a homeless guy, and he was talking about, he started talking to me.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me about John D. Rockefeller. He's like, I was at John D. Rockefeller's funeral.
Yeah.
And all this shit.
Yeah.
And I was laughing at him and shit. And then he started laughing. And I was like, it's all fucking crazy shit. Like, something came to me.
Yeah.
Where I started, and so now I find everything funny except like fucking real serious. Like, I have no fear of going on stage or anything about death and shit.
Right.
And so, but the other thing but the problem with laughing is I will get, it will build to a hysteria sometimes that I have to crank a couple of benzos to prevent a panic attack.
You really?
Yeah, I can get panic attacks. You can
laugh yourself into an anxiety attack?
Absolutely, yeah. I start laughing and then it gets out of control, like hysterical. It's and I still have extreme sensitivity to things. I always go by eyes.
Again?
I always go by eyes.
You should.
And it's
what if someone's blind?
It's not sexual. It's not only sexual.
What if someone's blind?
My dad knew a blind man, and my dad was in the war. He was a double generation older than I. He had me when he was 50, so he was in.
That explains a lot.
He was in the great one, and all his friends were old.
Right.
And so.
Wayne Gretzky?
He had
That's a good joke.
So he had a blind friend, and he come over, and my dad said, do you want a Coke, Elmer? RC Cola. Oh, goddamn. We don't got no RC Cola. We got Coca-Cola, the gold standard.
Right.
And this blind bastard wants an RC. So go down to Avonmore, pick up an RC. Well, that's a 1.5 mile walk.
Right.
So I walk with this blind son of a bitch. And he says to me, he wants me to describe everything. So I said, okay, well, on the left there's some cows lowing, and, there's a fence. He goes, is it like a wood that's near petrified? I said, yes, it is. And how big is it? 3 feet. I said, John Neil Margerison used to own this land. He said, I don't want to hear that. He says, just tell me what is. And so all of a sudden, I saw things as they were. I was very young, but I'll never forget that. Because I had to see, for this blind man, I had to see and describe not my opinions.
Right.
So when I went by John Neil Margerison's house a half a quarter later,
right,
I didn't mention John Neil or anything. I just described the house,
right,
because that's all he wanted to see. And then I began to realize that life is what is, not what you think it is, or not even what it appears to be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you would agree that your life or my life is just a series of facts, a series of incidents. It's not what you dream or hope or believe. It's what you do.
I would say the exact opposite.
What do you think it is?
First of all, you mean to tell me this does not end with we suddenly realize, why the hell are we getting this blind man a different brand? That's not the punchline?
Oh, no, there's no punchline.
Oh, my God.
I was definitely expecting
being...
it. Yeah, that was
Then you see a million miles away.
1,000%.
Why are we getting a different brand Coke for a blind man? That's not where we're going?
Well, he didn't. His sense of taste was expanded. He doesn't drink it through his eyes.
I guarantee you could fool a blind person with an off-brand Coke.
A blind man felt Princess Diana's face last week and said she is the prettiest woman I've ever seen. He then picked up a toilet plunger and said, "Thank you for this royal scepter. I shall treasure it always." Two 23-year-old women in China this week have set a record, living 12 days in a room with 888 deadly snakes. They now hold a place, a coveted place, in the Guinness Book of World Retard.
I used to do
What
that.
about this joke?
Alex Trebek set a Guinness World Record for most game shows hosted. The previous record holder was Who Gives a
Is that a game show host? Oh, how about this? College freshman Scott Damerow, Larry, set a new world record by using his head to bust 142 eggs, and he now officially holds a place in the Guinness Book of Retards. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Why are these dirty?
Been away so long, and I need you now more than forever.
Ready, set.
Obviously a lot of entertaining celebrities, but Norm Macdonald used to come on our show in the early days, and those were, I thought, great television because we never knew it was happening, and it was always teetering on the edge of, it was all about to blow up. It's all about to fail, and it would always end brilliantly. And then he stopped coming around, and it was just a period that passed. And I was always sad about that because I thought, we're a very celebrity-conscious age, and people always think that the best guests are the biggest celebrities. Sometimes, the best guests are these people that you have a weird connection with, and it's compelling television. People see and they talk to me about it later on. Like, I'll be out in the world walking around, and people will say, "I saw that when you were with Harlan or when you were with Norm or with Will, and that really got wild and crazy in a way that they don't see on television now."
Have you, over the years, who are some of the people who have been your go-to people? That I just remember Dave in his early years had Terry Garr and he had Sandra Bernhard.
Yes.
And they were kind of magic together. Who are your...
I had so many people. Norm Macdonald was this person who would come... you all know Norm Macdonald, but Norm Macdonald, when we'd have him on in the early days, to this day, I've never interviewed anybody like Norm Macdonald.
Who was the best guest that you've ever interviewed, and who was the worst?
I love Will Ferrell. I also love Norm Macdonald because he comes on and his stories are all invented. None of them are real. They're all old farmers' daughters jokes. And he pretends he'll come on. I'll say, "What's up, Norm?" He'd be like, the other day I was walking down the road and a pirate comes up. I'm like, "What?" Yeah. A pirate comes along, and he's got 3 pigs with him. One of them is wearing a hat. One's got a pipe, and then it's just a complete waste of everybody's time. That's absolutely delightful and hilarious. And so I love him.
Your favorite guests are always like the Bill Burr, Norm Macdonald. This
Yes.
might go off the rails really fast. Type of guys.
Yeah. I mean, Norm Macdonald, one of the great talk show guests of all time. He invented something that no, Norm Macdonald invented this amazing thing that I've never seen anybody do before or since. It's kind of like he split the atom. It was that revolutionary. Norm would come on and he would, instead of telling you a real story, like if I had you on the show and you're like, hey, Bill, tell me, well, and remember I was living in Chestnut Hill once, and you would tell a real story about what happened to you in your life. Norm tells old jokes as stories that happened to him.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, Norm, what are you up to? And I mean, really old jokes from like the 1920s. And he'd be like, well, Conan, I don't know if you're aware that I purchased a farm, Conan. I'd be like, really? You purchased I purchased a farm. Of course, I have 3 daughters. And I'm like, you have 3 daughters? Yeah, I have 3 daughters on the farm. One very attractive, one not as attractive, and of course the third not, kind of, well, she's ugly, Conan. She's ugly. And I'd be like, well, one day this traveling salesman comes to the farm, and he says, now, Norm, I tell you, and then it's like he's telling an old traveling salesman joke.
Yeah.
But
about halfway through where it's going.
I mean, I usually know. I know kind of what he's doing. I'm laughing that he has the balls to do this. I'm laughing at the audacity. So I don't even care if this joke lands or not. I'm laughing that he's committing to the fact that, no, he doesn't have a farm. He doesn't have 3 daughters. There's no traveling salesman. But he doesn't care in a way that is exhilarating and scary at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus, he probably has some people in the audience who are taking completely seriously, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's got some people thinking.
We call them tourists.
Yes, we call them. They're usually from San Bernardino.
Well, Norm had the greatest talk show moment in the history of talk shows with Courtney Thorne Smith.
That was epic. That was so great. And it's funny because
it's lived on. Who knew that we were going to have YouTube eventually?
Where
we could just queue it up on command.
God bless YouTube. I had no idea when those things were happening. I thought, we're talking 1993, 94. When those things were happening, I thought, what did I know? I just thought if you were up and you saw it, that means you saw you saw an amazing thing happen. And if you, and then maybe if I get to stay on the air long enough, we'll have a 1-year anniversary show, and maybe you'll see it then. But if you're not there for that, it's gone. And now I meet people, that around the world that will say, oh, I just saw that thing with you and Norm and Courtney Thorne Smith. And I'll think, that was a moment of my life when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like 85 now. Like, how is that possible?
But what's the movie going to be called?
Well, I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for fun.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
I thought of 2 things. The first thing I thought of was I might owe Drew Michaels an apology because he made a special with no audience and I hated it. because I looked at it like a swimming meet with no water, or like what do you like? That's the whole thing. But this was very endearing. It was amazing. This there's no question.
Yeah.
I also forget how poetic he is.
Yeah.
You know, with Norm, like, I didn't know him that well in the 90s. And then when my dad died, I had to do a movie with Norm. And I tried everything to get out of that movie because I was inconsolable. And I couldn't get out of it. And working with him was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It was like he was the right guy at the right time. I was inconsolable.
Did he talk to you about your dad a lot? Or what did he do?
Never came up. He just made me laugh.
Yeah, right.
He just, you know, and it was, you know, wistful and musing. And you know, Norm is, you never knew he was setting something up or not. We were just hanging out, and all of a sudden it'd be like this punchline out of nowhere. But it started to become like a work was like a church I go to. Like I couldn't wait to get to work and just hang around this guy.
Sweet,
and I knew he was special.
Yeah.
And I've known people for years and years that didn't make me laugh as much as he did in that 8 or 10 weeks. So he's like a real special person to me. And the way he's funny, I just never seen someone get at it like that. And I feel like he landed the trick.
Yeah,
His timing is like a drummer's. It's like a jazz drummer.
But what would the timing have been with an audience? Still perfect?
I can't tell. You know, he's so nice with it. I feel like it looked like it was supposed to be that. I can't. It's hard to explain it.
This is like listening to a good book on tape.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, that's good.
It reminds me of what I liked about him. He's a soothing person to be around.
Yeah, gentle.
There's something about my favorite comedy it's counterintuitive, makes people feel safe, like everything's going to be all right. This guy was, in a weird way, reconciling his mortality hilariously in front of us. And ironically, he's no longer with us. We're sitting in the aftermath of the life of Norm Macdonald, watching like him be incredibly alive.
How would those have registered in front of a live audience, do you think?
Not one of the suckers' mother's tits would kill.
Oh, well, that would have murdered. He had a bunch of things that would have murdered. Because, yeah.
When he smiled, I could picture him as a child.
Oh yeah.
He is he was my senior, but he's got a boyish charm. When he laughs at his own jokes.
Him laughing is amazing.
There's something just joyful about watching it.
Stay safe, folks. I love you. I would drop the mic, but I paid for it.
That was sweet, man.
Holy shit.
Tearjerker ending. Fuck.
Yep.
He anchors the Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and he has recently quit the nasty habit of smoking. Norm Macdonald. Norm! Now, you're a young iconoclast, Norm. You know, the kids, they get you.
What? I was going to wear a suit, and
I don't need to. I like this old D.B. Cooper look for you, man. This is... Now,
is he the guy that jumped out of the plane?
No. He's married to Alice Cooper. Now, the thing remember you wrote for my first talk show?
Yeah, you gave me my
and
first
I used
job.
to come in the room, and you and Drake Sather had no lights on. It was like some fucking Anton LaVey Satan cult in there, and you guys used to turn out the sickest jokes ever, and everybody was always smoking. Then I see you on Saturday Night Live during the opening credits. And one of the things I like about you is you're completely unfiltered on that show. You'll say anything. And I saw in the picture you had a cigarette in your mouth. I thought, this guy just doesn't give a shit. So I asked you to come on. I find out you pussed out on me and quit smoking. What is that all about?
No, because it's bad for you. They have these fucking things on the side. You have to read the fine print where it says, it's bad.
Now, when did you first start smoking?
I started smoking when I was a kid, like when I was, I think I was like 14, and I thought, I'll look really cool like if I start smoking, because I didn't get along with anybody. So I started smoking. Wouldn't you know it, I did look cool. All of a sudden, all these broads like me and everything. Not broads, but ladies, girls, women. And it was hard, though, man, because I was guilty about it all the time I smoked, because I always thought, I always knew it was bad for me, you know? Like, even though some guys will say that it's good because their uncle lived long or something and he smoked, and they'll go, hey, what about, that old guy, Bert Mustin, what about that guy, And then he just because he lived long, that doesn't mean anything, right? That's just one guy. You can't, just because Bert Mustin lived long, you're all of a sudden...
You did your master's thesis on this, didn't you? Now, did people bother you a lot when you're smoking? Were people pissed off when...
Yeah, people don't like when you smoke, They're bothered, like... I gotta admit, though, secondhand smoke is bad. Like, I don't like... When I smoked, I didn't like secondhand smoke. Yeah. I like that first-hand smoke, because you get to suck it right out of the cigarette, And the secondhand... Any fucking thing that's already been ingested by someone is not as good, You know what I mean? Like a pork sandwich is delicious, but after a digested pork sandwich, that's fucking shit.
You can't fight that logic, Norman. You cannot? Do you think advertising brings kids to smoking? There's a lot of fight with the Joe Camel thing. Do you think they really?
Yeah, definitely they got it. Because the thing is this. The advertisers, they got to go after kids because they're not going to get adults. Like, there's not going to be a 50-year-old guy going, hey, I should start smoking. That goddamn Camel. Look at him. They got to get little children.
Joe Camel.
Yeah.
That's a frightening-looking beast.
He looks like a cock. I read it. I didn't make this up.
And I know you don't mind first-hand cock, but...
You don't know that. Don't say that. I know how this stuff happens, man. Because a buddy of mine worked on Saturday Night Live, and he said he was a fag once, as a joke. And then he said everybody comes up to him and saying, are you a fag? Gay man, I mean?
Show about smoking. They thought you meant the British word for cigarette. All right.
Exactly. Can I bum a fag? That's what they say in England.
Where else? All right.
The thing about Joe Camel looking like a cock, Dennis.
I lost my train of thought. Thanks for bringing me back.
This is what I've noticed. He doesn't even look like a fucking camel. He looks so much like a cock. Because you know how it's usually subliminal?
Yeah.
Where you have to find the cock, right? This character, you have to find the goddamn camel.
Yeah, believe me, when you only get 2 humps out of a cock, it's not worth smoking. All right, now, line 2, we got a phone call for you. Although I can't believe they'd still be on the line after this departure. Line 2, we've got Beverly from Middletown, Ohio. Beverly?
Yeah, hi, Dennis. Hi, Norm.
Hi, you didn't know my name, I don't think.
Yes, I did. I watched Saturday Night.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I liked it when Dennis was on it.
Yeah, I did too. I watch Dennis every Friday.
Get out of here. You're great at that, man. You're great at this. You know why? Because you don't give a shit about Dennis. You know what I mean? It's like the best thing you can do. Whenever I'd go on, they'd go, what's it like following Chevy? And I like Chevy. He makes me laugh. I mean, what the fuck do I think about Chevy? I'm trying to make a living here.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And when I see you, I know you're thinking the same thing. Like, screw Dennis. I'm killing. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, since nicotine is such an addictive drug, do you think someday you'll have to have a prescription to buy a pack of cigarettes?
Well, you know, they always bring up the Constitution and talk about how we should still have the right to a militia and all that. But let's face facts, this country was built on tobacco growers. So, you know, if you're going to start changing, if you're not going to change one thing because it comes from way back then, you can't change this either. There are farmers out there who make a living. Tobacco is one of the crops that got this country going. So, no, I don't think they'll ever make it illegal.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't make it illegal. I know.
I think Norm's backing me up on that. What motivated you to quit?
Well, I guess I read this thing about how it was like a phallic symbol, and that my doctor went in. He said, you probably have an oral fixation, which you know what that means. Let's not kid ourselves, right? So that's why I always smoke like cigarettes instead of cigars, because if I'm going to have I like a little white thin cock, you know?
Are we back to cocks again? I go away to Ohio, Middletown, the center of the universe, to take a nice clean call, and then I space out. I'm thinking, I can't listen to Norm for a second. I got to get a time cue here. I come back, and you're talking about having a thin white cock in your...
I don't have a thin white cock. In my cock, you mean?
No.
In my mouth. No, you misunderstand. What I'm saying is this. I'm just saying
don't make the mistake of thinking I fucking listen to you.
I just want to make it clear about that cock thing. I was just saying, if I ever was gay, if they suddenly made it mandatory or something, then I would choose the smallest cock, and I would like a guy that came fast. I don't know. I thought the subject was cock.
No, cocks is next week.
I'm sorry. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I was just thinking, because they have that Viagra thing out.
Yeah.
And the other day, Bob Dole came right out and said
he was one of the first.
Yeah. And, you don't want to hear about Bob Dole's cock, I mean, President Clinton's cock, Bob Dole's cock, what the hell? But mostly, an old man like that, you don't want him to have a super hard cock. You know what I mean?
Why?
Why? Because an old man, you want him to be got a pipe going, a newspaper, the dog at his feet there.
Well, that in some corners is considered pipe.
Oh. But now they're going to have to create some goddamn pill that makes women aroused at the sight of a fucking 70-year-old dude with a super hard cock. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, it's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours.
Right.
So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is,
Prefer to Spade.
Oh, man. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it coming.
Dude, I know you didn't. He brought it all around and then a vicious rip kick into his best friend's gut.
Once there's too much cock talk, I try to just zone out for a minute till it goes back the other way.
If there's too much cock talk, this guy has fevered nightmares all night. Dreams, I mean, like sweaty, fevered dreams from the cock talk that's been all over his head.
Why bury me twice? He's killing me.
No, he's a good man.
That erased it. All right.
No, he's a good man.
Who cares?
After all that, that's
Gays.
that's the whiteout he puts on.
Yeah, I know, it's awful.
After he talks about you doing chin-ups on cock for 18 minutes, he goes, no, he's a good guy.
If you're gay, he's a completely straight guy. He gets a lot of ladies. You know that about him with the ladies.
Don't say ladies.
Women, girls.
Okay, thank you. Ladies, what are we, fucking on an FM station here?
He's Don Cornelius.
But these gay guys, man, I was reading, you know about
These gay guys.
I haven't even said hi yet. All right. Tell me what it is with these gay guys.
I know, I'm already.
I just read this thing about the George
You're reading
Michael.
a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a little time off. Now I read the newspaper. And this really strikes me about the gay community. I don't know if they're a community, but
It's called West Hollywood.
Yeah, they're gay, and it's, you know, George Michaels. He hangs around the bathroom. He has sex with multiple guys. This is
no way. You got to get it right. Hangs around the bathroom, and it was described as a lewd behavior, but I don't remember sex with numerous guys.
Well,
is that what you took away from it?
What does he do?
What were you, in the next stall?
I could have been just having a nice bathroom regular thing.
I don't know what lewd behavior is, but I don't know that he was in there with numerous guys. But anyway, go ahead. We get the gist of it.
This is definitely a gay thing, because this is a pop superstar. You know what I mean? You're not going to walk into a bathroom and all of a sudden Farrah Fawcett's like, ah, you know? You're not going to...
What? I love it.
What I'm saying is, why would a famous pop...
What was she doing? Some sort of cervical belt sander thing, or what was that? Oh, Christ, what are you, Linda Blair?
They do. That's what they do. Right?
That's what ladies that I know do.
Good to know that primetime exposure is paying dividends there.
But I think that's what it is. It's that the gay, that's why they have separate bathrooms. Let's face it. If they had women and, women, as you call them, I call them ladies. If you had them in the same bathroom,
like Ally McBeal.
Like you go in the bathroom to do your business, see a man about a dog there, and you're in the bathroom. You're in the bathroom. All of a sudden, a beautiful lady comes out. Oh, here's my vagina and breasts. You're going to be hanging out at that bathroom a lot. So I don't blame anybody for anything.
Can you believe Olmeyer didn't get him?
We're all the same, man.
Have you ever met Olmeyer since then?
Don Olmeyer I met once, after he fired me.
Yeah.
Then I went and visited him in his office, which it wasn't an office I've never seen. It was like a wet bar and a bunch of weird sports trophies. He's a big sports guy,
Yeah.
So he explained it to me what happened, but he did it all with sports stuff, like you said, man, you see, you're the number 3 hitter, but now you're going to be number 8. And then later on, Ken Griffey will show up. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And then I said, well, Christ, man, what the hell am I supposed to do? And he goes, I don't know, just walk it off, And
I'll put it in sports terms why you got fired. You were fucking with OJ too much. That's exactly why you were fired, man.
Well, I don't know.
That's his buddy.
Yeah, it's his buddy.
Yeah, well, that's why you got canned.
OJ's a good guy. I mean, he's not...
We got to end on that, Normie, but there's what they'll remember you by. OJ's a good guy.
Man.
Thanks for coming on. Norm Macdonald and David Spade, stick around, guys.
New songs on the radio sounding fake. Trends and genesis for better anyway. Am I just being...
Luckily, we have the good taste to bring tonight's guest back. Every season, he is as uncensored a wit as they come. His new sitcom, The Norm Show, is on ABC Wednesdays at 9:30. Please welcome George Wendt, ladies and gentlemen.
They thought they were getting...
Georgie Wendt!
Norby!
How you doing, man?
How are you?
I'm all right. How's it going?
Year in, year out, my favorite guest.
All right, you're a good man.
Because you have no inner barometer of how far to go.
Well, no, because it's HBO. I like to be dirty, you know, and it's fun.
You know what you are? You're like a profane child. That's how I think of you, because you always say, yeah, I like to be dirty. Then you go up on this Pynchon-esque cock ramp for like 3 minutes. Yeah, cocks are ugly, and Joe Campbell's a cock, and you're always shuffling your feet. What are you nervous about? You're a star, for Christ's sake. How's that sitcom world? Is that hell, or do you like that over there?
It's not a lot of fun, but you know, it's good to do.
No, it's not on Ohlmeyer's. Has Ohlmeyer sent you a congratulatory telegram, or what word am I looking for there?
Ohlmeyer, I haven't heard any missive, I think.
Who's the Ohlmeyer at your network?
This lady, Jamie Tarsis.
She think you're funny?
Yeah.
Ohlmeyer's not even there anymore, isn't it?
No.
Isn't the one of his last official duties to whack you?
Yeah. He took off, and they got this other guy, I think it's maybe Sammy Sosa.
Scott Sassa.
Scott Sassa.
All right, now I want to do a Rorschach thing. What flashes into your mind when I say bad taste? What do you find bad taste?
Well, there was this performance art guy, I remember in New York, that his whole big thing was he'd take a picture of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and then...
Oh, that's Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then his whole act is he'd piss on it with his cock.
Wow, you know, at least he showed respect. He could have pissed with his, what, arm?
You're right. So I thought that was really and horribly bad
That's over
taste.
the line, as far as...
because Jesus Christ, you know, he died for the guy's sin, and then the guy pisses on his picture. And it was a picture of Jesus dying for his sins. Like he was on the cross going, oh, I'm dying for the guy's sins. And then this guy's like pissing all over it. But, you know, when Judgment Day comes, he's going to have to face Jesus Christ of Almighty of Nazareth, you know.
And Jesus is going to say, hey, asshole, what's with the peeing on my picture?
Yeah. That negates every other good thing he ever did, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't piss on my picture.
Yeah. You don't want to come up to the gates of heaven, God's leaning there with a nunchuck strapped around his neck, you know. How do you
go, I'll have some performance art for you while the fucking devil shoves some coal up your ass.
As I said before, the childlike outro. But effective. How do you define bad taste? Is it like beauty? Is it in the eye of the beholder, or what?
Yeah, it kind of is. You know, it depends on what people... Some people, like, get all upset over certain words, like... They think that, like, girls all the time, man, when I'm talking to them, like, if I go, hey, how about you and I, like, fuck, you know? and then the girl always goes, like, I don't fuck, I make love. I make love. And I go, I don't care, whatever you want to call, as long as my dirty cock's involved, you know? I don't care. I'm not going to get, you know... Not going to get in a semantic argument. Or, you know, you can call it making a grilled cheese sandwich as long as there's a lot of me doing that
kind of thing. Now, what's the earliest into a hitting on a woman that you've ever said, I want to fuck you? Like you give it a couple minutes, right?
I try to get into it pretty quick. You know?
Throw that trump card down. No, if you're in the game.
I don't, because I don't like. I don't ever ask them to. Would you like to have dinner? I don't really like having dinner with them, or having a drink with them, or anything like that.
No.
You know.
So that's your sort of exchange with women is.
Yeah, I say, hey, how about you and me fuck? And then they go, no. And then they go, how about we have dinner? And I go, I don't like dinner. You don't like fucking.
So it's pretty basic thing you have with
I'm
women.
not
Kind
good
of a
with-
basic
yeah,
exchange.
I'm not good with girls.
When do you remember first being cognizant of bad taste? You know, because when you're a little kid, everything's kind of funny. You know,
Yeah.
like farting is explosively
Right,
funny.
right.
When do you remember first being able to differentiate between bad taste and good taste?
I know when you're a kid, you'll say anything. Like, I don't remember much, but I have a little boy, you know, sweet little boy.
You have a son?
Yeah, he's a
Norm,
good
I
boy.
didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Yeah. You want to say hey to him?
Yeah, hey, well, you
Oh, he
better
can't
watch
watch
this.
this show. That's what I always say. You can't watch Daddy.
Right. So little Dylan and I went to El Pollo
Dylan?
Loco. Yeah.
His original name was Zimmerman, though, right?
No, I thought that would be the coolest name as I was a kid. I never heard anybody named Dylan. I said, this will be because I love Dylan Thomas.
Right.
So I said, this will be a cool name for a kid, and I thought it'd be unique, and now every fucking kid is Dylan. And they named him after that 90210 guy. Can you imagine? That's what I read in not a book, but a periodical. So anyway, little Dylan and I were getting some chicken at the Pollo Loco.
Right.
And kids are so wonderful, you know that.
Unfiltered.
They're unfiltered, exactly. So we're standing beside this huge fat broad, you know. And so
not as unfiltered as Daddy, but unfiltered.
So me and little Dylan are behind her, and he goes, Daddy, look how fat she is. And then so I had not said, you're not supposed to call fat people fat to him, so it wasn't his fault. So I said, no, Dylan, shit, enough with that. And he goes, I bet she's going to eat a lot of chicken. I bet. It was really funny because everybody was looking at her. And then right at that moment, the guy goes, yes, ma'am, what would you like? And she's like, I'll have 2 pieces of chicken. You know, she was going to order like 8 full whole chickens, you know.
Well, how do you know that?
Yeah. How do I know that?
Yeah, maybe she wasn't going to order 8 full chicken.
Oh, no,
Maybe she was...
because right when she ordered the 2 chickens, she did like the shifty eye, you know? I don't do a good shifty eye.
So you're behind her in line and yet able to discern the subtle REM-like movements of her eyeballs.
You got me on that one, man. I made that part up.
You don't even have a son!
For the purposes of that anecdote, I am not Darren.
I thought you were going to be quick and say, it was Linda Blair! We got a phone call for you, believe it or not. Fat woman from El Pollo Loco. No. It's Murtaugh from Miami, Florida. Murtaugh!
Hey, Dennis. Hey, Norm.
How are you, Mert?
I'm good. You know, I can't wait to see your new show. It really looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, when's it on again, Normie? Remind me. You're one of my friends. I'll let you plug capriciously.
Okay, it's on
oh, come on, you gotta get this. Huh?
When
Who's
is
in
it
it?
on? When
Are
is
you
it
in
on?
it?
Yes. It's on Wednesday at 9:30 on the American Broadcasting Corporation.
All right. So, what's your question there, Mert?
Okay, why is it people like this annoying Joan Rivers, you know, always criticize people's bad taste at the Academy Awards, you know, like Gwyneth Paltrow, who's like the hottest chick on earth. And, well, she has no taste in fashion whatsoever, you know, man? I mean, God.
I don't. You know what? I feel awkward here because I met Joan Rivers once and she was so nice to me and so funny. But I agree with him to some extent when she gets like lays into Kathy Bates or say, you know, Kathy Bates never did anything wrong by her. And I just think there's that slight tinge of desperation in Joan sometimes nowadays, you know, that she'll say anything and that kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes that makes me uncomfortable. But, you know, she's a good dame and she does a great show
I
there.
hate slamming other celebrities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Remember when Spade did that, how he lived his life in fear?
To Eddie?
Well, to Eddie, you know, to Eddie specifically,
people,
but Spade used to do that Hollywood moment. Spade, he's a great guy, he's one of our best friends, but he was always scared shitless because he made his whole thing out there just trashing people, and they would get pissed and call him, and he was always like living in fear. He never goes to Hollywood parties because he's afraid somebody's going to kick his little Sputnik ass.
Right, because everybody he insults is like 2.5 feet taller than him.
Now, Norm, have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco, and they were all gay people in the audience. They told me, so I figured I'd
In San Francisco?
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to it.
Yeah, it's warm up. They love that.
And so I was talking about, because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock." You know? This kid, he can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass, his kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock. I want to show it to you.
To watch the maturation of you as an artist, to realize it took you 9.5 minutes to get around to the sucking cock stuff. It's beautiful to see you comfortable in your own skin, Normie. All right. The Norm Show, 9:30. What night? Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
ABC. Good luck with it. Norm Macdonald. Stick around. Norm to do the news. Norm Macdonald, ladies. Now, Norman, you're an inventive guy. Which of the current batch of inventions has tickled your fancy? What do you like?
Well, Henry Ford just invented the assembly line there,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
and that was good because he wanted, you know, not just rich people, but anyone to drive over and see his cock.
Is there any other one that's caught your fancy?
There's Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
You know, he invented the telephone.
Right.
So he could call people up, tell them to come on over and see his cock, you know, because he was tired of yelling it out the window. So, hey,
theme development.
check out my cock.
So, Norm, I hear you just got back from New York City. What's happening in Gotham?
Oh, my God. Well, the big thing is the new Empire State Building. Have you seen this?
I've heard. I have not seen yet.
Oh, it's crazy. What I'm interested in is the original architect's blueprint, you know?
Yes.
It called for the building to be painted flesh tone, Dennis, with a large rounded head so the architect could lie on the street and pretend he had a 1,000-foot cock. Frank Lloyd Wright, more like Frank Lloyd Cock.
So, Norm, tell me, what's your take on this whole Cold War thing?
Well, my brother works down at the UN, right? And you remember last week when Khrushchev was banging his shoe on the table?
Crazy bastard.
Yeah. So my brother was sitting beside him, and Khrushchev, like, he accidentally slips, and my brother gets hit right in the cock.
With the shoe?
Yeah, by Khrushchev's shoe. So my brother turns to him, he says, "Hey, you hit me in the cock again, you dirty commie, I'll bury you."
So what's been happening, man?
Oh, man, I dropped acid the other week. That is bizarre stuff.
Really?
Yeah, my cock started singing to me. I like Joe Cocker.
Stood for something other than just being Mexico's bitch. I say if President Clinton 296 doesn't snap us out of this downward spiral we're in, we dump his gay ass. Next election process, we clone Jesse Ventura again, bring him back. Hey, Norm.
Hey, you know what I think they should put on the dark side of the moon?
What?
Vast fields of bioengineered hydroponically grown cock. Yeah, you know, like a backup supply just in case our earthbound supply of cock might run out one day.
Oh, cock tucked away for a cocky day.
Exactly. Look at my head, man. It looks like a cock.
It does.
Cock. 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 That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
The smartest cat I ever knew at SNL, and a much revered figure there, is joining us for another segment. This is my former producer, longtime writer and contributor, Jim Downey. Jim, I had Norm on the show yesterday. I always thought Norm, from the first second I saw him, was just a flat-out misanthropic genius. I always gave him a wide berth as far as time schedules and that, because I just said, well, I'm going to grab Amadeus and tell him he has to be here to do busy work. You know what I mean? That isn't going to happen. So I think he's a genius. What was it like to work with him on Update?
Well, he is a genius and the most fearless performer. He likes people to laugh at his stuff. He enjoys that, but it's sort of one of like, half a dozen important aspects of what he does. Mm-hmm. So that if he really loves a joke or a bit, he will happily go out there and do it, whatever the response is. And if you want to hear a story,
I love me a Norm story.
One time we were in the office doing Update stuff, and there'd been a news item about there was going to be a newspaper for the homeless, and so we were thinking about doing some of that. So we started improvising. It was more of a scene, not something we could do on the segment, but it was like a tough kind of Perry White kind of editor going like, "You, Miller, I want 500 words on going to the bathroom in your pants. You, Immel, give me something. Give me a human interest thing on urine stain matter. You, was that kind of thing. Yeah. And like a lot of like photos, maybe some, a little human side. What are pets, that kind of thing. And so nothing came of it, and I sort of forgot we had the conversation. And then the first meeting we have after the summer, Norm comes in and goes, "Hey, Downey, remember that that thing we were talking about there with the remember that thing with the newspaper for the homeless, that thing, the homeless newspaper?" And I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, well, I was out in L.A. and I was asked to do this benefit, for the coalition to feed the homeless, and I'm going, no. And he goes, yeah, I did that bit, They hated it. Hated it.
All right, you tell me now. That's the Andy Kaufman part of the joke, or is he actually surprised that they hated it? That's what I can't quite figure with Lord.
I know.
Jimmy calls in here periodically and says that he has bought a puppet and he wants to work material out on the show. And I'll say, well, tell me about the puppet. And it's an old man puppet who's a Holocaust denier. And it's obviously just Norm sitting at home talking as Norm. He makes no pretension to a puppet voice.
I know.
And I think he's Andy. I don't know. I view a lot of Andy Kaufman in there. It's just
he also would like to, one of the things that he would really enjoy just getting into a character, and then you could not get him out of it. Like he liked doing old man stuff,
yes,
like being an old geezer and complaining about aches and pains and stuff like that. And then you go, okay, Norm, now seriously, now we actually have to talk about it. He'd start doing stuff about rheumatism and things like that, and you just had to plead with him to just stop. But he was on his own kind of set of rhythms.
The speed with which he would take his sport coat off at the end of his Letterman impression always I would watch the thing just to watch, because Letterman's so ill at ease with show business, always makes this conscious show of getting rid of the sport coat at the end of the show. And when Norm picked up on that and did that as impression, God, I fell out.
I learned a little bit about that was Norm. And of course, Norm's a little crazy, but Norm, a big host would come and we'd all get all hopped up, like, okay, Rosie's gonna bring in big ratings. Let's get our AP. Where's my goat? I'm gonna throw out a goat. And Norm would sit there in the pitch meeting. We'd all be dead serious. Will would throw out, I'm going to do a cheerleader.
Right.
This one and that. And Norm would be like, yeah, I got a sketch ready. You're going in your pants, And you're just walking around. And you're like, yeah, I'm the guy with the in my pants. I hate this guy. And you look at him like he was nuts, but he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, Norm knew exactly. Listen, one of the single funniest things I've ever seen in my life is when he did Letterman, how quickly he would throw the sport coat off at the end of the sketch. Nothing made me laugh harder than Norm.
doing Letterman, and I said to him, "What's with the sport?" You know how Letterman, how ill at ease he is with show business.
Yeah.
Norm said, "That's all I had at the beginning. The essence of it was his discomfort." I said, "This guy's a freaking genius."
He is a genius. He would warm up the crowd. Now, when I would warm up the crowd, I would warm it up like I was playing the garden, and I wanted to teach everyone a lesson. If I'm cut from tonight, I want you to know I should have been on.
That I was a badass.
Yeah, I'd warm up the crowd, kill. Norm would go up behind me, and he'd go, hey, Jim Brewer and these guys, he's got all these great impressions, So I said, well, I better learn some impressions. So, are you guys all ready? This is my newest impression of these. I love it. Because here's Ed Sullivan. And I'm like, he's really going to do Ed Sullivan? Like, why would you? He goes, Ed Sullivan introducing the Beatles. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Beatles. Well, I got to work on that one a little bit. I'll see you during the show.
He's got a little Andy Kaufman in him, Norm. He likes to frustrate, titillate a little, but then periodically he'll say something like, I feel sorry for the homeless guy's dog, because the dog's thinking, this is the longest walk I've ever been on. Norm's hosting a sports show now, Jimbo, on Comedy Central.
Oh, that's dangerous. You and I both know that can be very.
Yeah, but that is a panel I volunteer for, because I want to be in the blast site of that when that goes off, because that is going to be a hoot.
Hey, now listen, did I hear some rumble that Brother Sandler sent out Maseratis to the cast of Grown Ups? Did you reap the benefit?
First of all, let me just say one thing. Nothing's better than Nancy Pelosi Augustus reference.
Pelosi Augustus.
I'm still swooning over that one. Yeah, Stanley gave Maseratis to Spade, Schneider, Kevin James, Chris Rock, all of whom need one, by the way.
Right, exactly. What'd you get?
No bitterness, but me and Norm Macdonald, yeah, we're splitting a zip car.
And you split a zip car with Norm. It's like having one of those, those Christmas trees the drivers have that smells like North Slope Sensimilla.
Yeah, this car, I don't know, they must have been smoking pot in here or something.
Norm cancels on us once every 2 weeks, and I almost enjoy it more than him showing up at this point, because he always wants me to talk to some ventriloquist puppet that he says is on the phone. A Holocaust tonight. What has happened to Norman?
And then when he sees she's going to go, how come you never have me on your show?
Nope.
We tried to get you on. What?
Nobody funnier, though. I mean, you got to give it to him.
Nobody funnier.
That guy, if I'm in a room with him for 10 minutes, they got to put the paddles on me, because I fly.
I had a bar mitzvah, Norm.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
Wait, are you Jewish?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm kidding. I love the Jewish people. No, I didn't know you had a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
That's when you turn 13 and they cut part of your cock off.
No.
What is it again?
No.
You cut your own cock off.
Wait, hold on. Are you
in
Jewish?
front of all your grandparents and am I? Yeah, I am.
What kind of bar mitzvah did you have?
It was the most cutting edge. You know what I mean?
If they define a chromosome as
or a
saying
gene,
that you're gay or a gene, that would be abnormal. How would the gay community?
It wouldn't be called abnormal. It would be called different. It wouldn't be called abnormal.
Wow.
Maybe the abnormal gene would be hetero.
That's true. Hey, maybe the normal gene would be those ladies
maybe it would be normal to be gay.
That cut their cocks into vaginas.
No.
A Florida University student was caught streaking on campus and apparently told police he was on acid and asked them to cut his dick off. Boy, these kids today are crazy. In my day, we didn't need drugs. We would just cut our own dicks off.
Yeah, you didn't need no fucking acid and shit. This reminds me of your kind of joke.
All right.
Just from hearing you read jokes.
Oh, I like this. I like the theme that this one has. A man in Taiwan reportedly cut off his own penis to win an argument with his wife. That reminds me of that episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, where Raymond forgot Deborah's birthday and had to cut his own cock off. Game of Thrones, that guy's getting his penis cut off, if you guys
Everybody. Is there?
Yeah, this guy got his penis cut off.
To turn into a vagina? Fashion into a vagina?
I don't think they had medieval sexual.
Oh, that's in the old days?
Oh, yeah, it's like medieval. But it'd be cool if they did experiment with genital altercations back then.
Yeah.
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer.
Isn't it weird that you can go to a doctor and go, you know how I have a cock?
Where are you going with this?
It's not real. I shouldn't have a cock.
I'm bored.
You mind cutting it? And because I've always intuitively believed that.
So the best is like when you want to go back after like 5 months. You're like, you know, I had a cock and then you gave me a pussy.
Which didn't work.
The pussy was fun. But can I get my cock back? You still have it?
Guy's like, you betcha. He started by cutting Yoon's penis off, leading to his lover bleeding out live on a videotape. Magnotta then went to his kitchen and placed his boyfriend's penis into a skillet, frying it until it was golden brown. While taking his last breath, Yoon witnessed his supposed soulmate feast on his genitals. After Yoon had perished, Magnotta began dismembering him, sending packages of his... I mean, this guy was a real jerk. Here we go. The final joke. Okay. Good night, everybody.
This year's most popular iPhone game is Clash of the Clans.
Clash of the Clan, the most popular iPhone game.
The least popular iPhone game, Cut My Cock Off.
Oh, my Lord. That's what you chose? Is the final joke?
You chose it!
So when you started Incredibad...
/ The Lonely Island.
Yeah, The Lonely Island. What's the significance of that name, though? That's what really I wanted to ask. The Lonely Island. You think of all islands as kind of lonely.
Do you really want to hear the story?
Yes, please.
I do too. A real short version, which is just basically was what we called the apartment we lived on Olympic with all the traffic. It was a sarcastic name from a sarcastic Tennessee Williams style sketch we did about the apartment. Akiva wrote a one-act play.
God damn, I wish I had a time machine.
To see that action.
Yeah, no, to take back my question.
Thought you were going to say to murder Hitler.
I would not. You know, people always fucking want to murder Hitler with their time machine, right? But then I feel if I got back there, I'd be afraid of falling under the spell of his fucking beautiful eyes.
It's true. You
and
want
oratory.
And then, locked in the gaze.
Yeah, and then I join the fucking party,
That's
knowing
his
me.
thing. He gives you his full attention. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe there's something to this guy.
No, but before you ask another serious
Believe
question,
it or not, they're telling us to wrap it up. I don't exactly know why you got
it. This is fun for everyone.
It's the
For the
Lonely
record,
Island, guys.
I would have killed Hitler. So thanks, gentlemen.
Can I just clarify? if I did go back in time to kill Hitler, I would do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get lost in his eyes and then bail.
Yeah.
Just so I don't get hit from all the
I know, all
defamation leads.
You would end it.
Pro
Listen,
Okay.
man, I'm sorry
We
about
gotta wrap it up.
I'm sorry
It's
about
over.
bringing up Hitler.
You really brought this live show to a new
This is
level.
the first one, right? This is your first interview?
It's just gonna get worse from
This is
here.
the first time I've ever interviewed a man.
If you can bring
things to
Hitler
come.
into all of them, they're going to ask you back for sure, which is I know what you want.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Okay.
I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you go suicide, kill him.
Right. It's like died 50 years ago,
Did
probably.
he? I didn't
Yeah.
even know he was sick.
He wasn't. Well. No, that's fine.
I wish I could find a Hitler of today and go kill him.
Mark. Now let's take us back in time. You started. You say.
I wish I could. I don't know.
Figuratively.
If I could take you back in time, first I'd kill Hitler, but then I'd ride a dinosaur or something. I don't know what you wanted to do, but these are some things you'd have to do first. I would invest in Coca-Cola. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do if I could go back in time, but unfortunately I can't. You're probably going, oh, well, this guy can go back in time. Why hasn't he? Well, that's an interesting question you ask. Because I don't have a time machine, and I don't know any portholes in the atmosphere that I can go through, and that's about the only scientific stuff I could say is portholes, and maybe that's just for
What
boats.
year would you go back to if you
Yes.
could go back in time? What year?
If I could go back in time, I'd go back a year ago and just get a pastrami sandwich or something from some place that closed 2 months before. But so I don't, because if you could just go back any time, then that would be fine.
Well, let's go down memory lane just a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, when
I
did
thought
you?
he just went there. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes, I'd say hello to Jesus.
I'm sorry.
If I could go back in time and say, hey, between you and me, I think, maybe keep your mouth shut. It's getting people angry. You're really not making any friends here. Eventually, you'll be famous. Trust me. But right now, maybe you just want to, pull back a little.
Go ahead, Angela. Hop in here.
Obviously, a lot of entertaining celebrities, but Norm Macdonald used to come on our show in the early days, and those were, I thought, great television because we never knew it was happening, and it was always teetering on the edge of it was all about to blow up. It's all about to fail, and it would always end brilliantly. And then he stopped coming around, and it was just a period that passed. And I was always sad about that because I thought, we're a very celebrity-conscious age, and people always think that the best guests are the biggest celebrities. Sometimes, the best guests are these people that you have a weird connection with, and it's compelling television. People see and they talk to me about it later on. Like I'll be out in the world walking around, and people will say, "I saw that when you were with Harlan, or when you were with Norm, or with Ron. That really got wild and crazy in a way that they don't see on television now."
Have you, over the years, who are some of the people who have been your go-to people? That I just remember Dave in his early years had Terry Garr and he had Sandra Bernhard. Yes. And they were kind of magic together. Who are your...
I had so many people. Norm Macdonald was this person who would come... you all know Norm Macdonald, but Norm Macdonald, when we'd have him on in the early days, to this day, I've never interviewed anybody like Norm Macdonald.
Who was the best guest that you've ever interviewed, and who was the worst?
I love Will Ferrell. I also love Norm Macdonald because he comes on and his stories are all invented. None of them are real. They're all old farmers' daughters jokes. And he pretends he'll come on. I'll say, "What's up, Norm?" He'd be like, the other day I was walking down the road and a pirate comes up to, I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. A pirate comes along, and he's got 3 pigs with him. One of them is wearing a hat, one's got a pipe, and then it's just a complete waste of everybody's time that's absolutely delightful and hilarious. And so I love him.
Your favorite guests are always like the Bill Burr, Norm Macdonald.
Yes.
This might go off the rails really fast type of guys.
Yeah. I mean, Norm Macdonald, one of the great talk show guests of all time. He invented something that no, Norm Macdonald invented this amazing thing that I've never seen anybody do before or since. It's kind of like he split the atom. It was that revolutionary. Norm would come on and he would, instead of telling you a real story, like if I had you on the show and you're like, hey, Bill, tell me, well, and remember I was living in Chestnut Hill once, and you would tell a real story about what happened to you in your life. Norm tells old jokes as stories that happened to him.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, Norm, what are you up to? And I mean, really old jokes from like the 1920s. And he'd be like, well, Conan, I don't know if you're aware that I purchased a farm, Conan. I'd be like, really? You purchased a... Yeah, I purchased a farm. Of course, I have 3 daughters. And I'm like, you have 3 daughters? Yeah, I have 3 daughters on the farm. One very attractive, one not as attractive, and of course the third not, kind of... Well, she's ugly, Conan. She's ugly. And I'd be like, Well, one day, this traveling salesman comes to the farm, and he says, now, Norm, I tell you. And then it's like he's telling an old traveling salesman joke.
Yeah.
But
about halfway through where it's going.
I mean, I usually know. I know kind of what he's doing. I'm laughing that he has the balls to do this. I'm laughing at the audacity. So I don't even care if this joke lands or not. I'm laughing that he's committing to the fact that, no, he doesn't have a farm. He doesn't have 3 daughters. There's no traveling salesman. But he doesn't care in a way that is exhilarating and scary at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus, he probably has some people in the audience who are taking completely seriously, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's got some people thinking.
We call them tourists.
Yes, we call them. They're usually from San Bernardino.
Well, Norm had the greatest talk show moment in the history of talk shows with Courtney Thorne Smith.
That was epic. That was so great. And it's funny because
it's lived on. Who knew that we were going to have YouTube eventually where we could just queue it up on command?
God bless YouTube. I had no idea when those things were happening. I thought, we're talking 1993, 94. When those things were happening, I thought, what did I know? I just thought if you were up and you saw it, that means you saw you saw an amazing thing happen. And if you, and then maybe if I get to stay on the air long enough, we'll have a 1-year anniversary show and maybe you'll see it then. But if you're not there for that, it's gone. And now I meet people, that around the world that will say, oh, I just saw that thing with you and Norm and Courtney Thorne Smith. And I'll think, that was a moment of my life when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like 85 now. Like, how is that possible?
You say there's no way we could go back, and that I've broken what we had. I wish that you would come around.
You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. What's the movie going to be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for fun.
Well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.